Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, my collective. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Wednesday. We are at the middle of the week. It is hump day. Okay. So we're halfway there for those of you who work a normal Monday through Friday. Okay. We are going to get into our reading today, but before we do so, I kind of want to share a little something with you if you don't mind. Um, so I like plants, okay? I like flowers, but mostly I like plants. And so I went out this morning into my yard because I was going to, one, let my dog out, and two, I was going to water my plants, okay? And so I was drawn to, when I looked at one plant, my attention was drawn to a particular plant that I have in a pot. And when I saw it, immediately I saw this weed, all right? And it had this flower on it, just more like a lavender kind of color. But I thought, well, that's pretty. So, and it was the only one flower on this vine, a weed. Okay, it's a weed. I mean, let's just say what it is. But when I saw it, my mind went to, like, I didn't just see it and say, oh, weed. I kind of reflected on it a second, and I was like, it just makes me think about sometimes when you go through things in life, um, the weeds, okay? Let's just use that as our word. The weeds, the entanglements, the heartache, the drama, when you have a weed in your flower bed, when you don't see it, it just kind of spreads, it take over, it can kill the plants, cause the slow growth, damage the roots, and so I feel like that's a lot of times, like sometimes you go through negative things, toxic relationship, negative mindsets, limiting beliefs, or just heartache or past traumas or whatever you've gone through. Those like the weeds in your life. But when you don't see it, you can't pull it, you can't kill it, you can't spray it, you can't remove it. So those things grow, they cause you to have, maybe abandonment issues, possibly mistrust, you know close your heart. It's cause you to react. You sit with it. Maybe you start dealing with anxiety, depression, can't sleep, start thinking negative of yourself, just having negative thoughts. And some people act out with just negative behavior patterns. But once you find, see, locate that weed in your garden, in your flower bed, and you remove it, you pull it out, your flower bed becomes more healthier, So I just want to say that to say, sometimes we go through things and sometimes you don't realize there's a weed in your flower bed and you allow it to kind of take over your life. But once you identify that problem, that unhealthy relationship, that toxic um, pattern, that behavior, that negative mindset you may have, that limiting belief that, maybe you need to have more self love, self worth, place boundaries. But once you recognize and you locate whatever that problem is, that weed is in your life, and you remove it and you start to heal from it, all right, your flower bed starts to get better. From that, you grow, you become a beautiful flower. So from all that you've gone through, beauty still can arise. The beauty within you, the self love, you understand what I'm saying? So it just made me think about that. And then the fact that it's a lavender color, lavender is enchanting. Lavender speaks of a person who's a daydreamer, someone who's fragile and sensitive, but also imaginative, very creative, very intelligent, very gentle, very nurturing, It also speaks about people that are intuitive and people who actually like to change directions. They're not comfortable with just that same humdrum life or sitting in a situation that's no longer working for them or allowing themselves to stay stuck. It's somebody that really likes to change and wants to embody change. It also can speak about, too, the seventh chakra, the crown chakra, which is interesting because when I saw it, That's what I started to really think about it. It brought consciousness to me. And your seventh chakra is, your wisdom, your consciousness, your transcendence, your meditation. Makes you reflect, how you reflect on life, how you reflect on things. So, I just want to say, if you're going through something, look and see, like, what weed is in your life. Like, what's growing? What are you allowing to take over your flower bed? Is it a person? Is it a job? Is it a mindset? Is it a fear? Is it a codependency? Is it addiction? Like, what is it? Like, locate it. Find out what it is so that you can remove it. You can pull it from your flower bed so your flower bed can begin to become healthier. Okay? Um, so that's what I just wanted to share with you today. And I brought it, and I'm going to keep my little weed, my little flower, my beauty from it on my desk here until it, it's no longer a beautiful flower, as a reminder. Okay? So let's go ahead and get into the reading today. I want to see what the energy is for you, as well as what was the inner growth, the enlightenment, the karmic, whether you're in karmic friendship situations, you're just going to dive deep into your spiritual symbols. I think that the spiritual symbol for me this morning is this flower from the weed. Okay? So, God, I come before you in gratitude today for the growth that you have fostered in my spiritual life. I recognize this journey is your gift, not by my strength, but by your grace. Help me to remain humble and open to your leading. Continue to nurture the fruits of your spirit within me. May I use my growth to bless others and glorify you in all that I do. Thank you for being a constant guide and updating source of strength. In Jesus' name, amen. As my spirit guides, my ancestors, divine magnified angel, protect me, the collective, my friends and family as I go on our spiritual journey towards healing. Oh, wait a minute. For my spiritual symbol, first things popping out are, ooh, Antichrist. No, Anarchist. Anarchist is the first one to pop out. All right. So this is somebody, you may have had someone in your life that was very violent, somebody who might be obsessed with you, single-minded, only thought about themselves, didn't think about you, how their actions would affect you or make you feel in any type of way. I feel like a narcissist, really. Somebody who could be rowdy, unwildly, somebody who might be discontented in life, may be angry, could be angry with themselves, could be angry at you because you're no longer in contact with them, because these two cards came out. So this talks about balance, choices, partnerships. All right. Also talks about mutual attraction. So this is somebody that's very much so still attracted to you, but also somebody who couldn't make a decision between you and someone else in another path. They were indecisive. They kept you in a stalemate. All right, so this is somebody who had a lot of fear and confusion. Like I just said that. Somebody who couldn't that was confused about which direction to go into, what path to take. All right, somebody who's very ego driven. Somebody had a lot of pride and a lot of ego. The second one that came out is exploring. Okay, so this says face the mystery of uncharted passages with the courage to explore the unknown. All right. So this is going to be one of your enlightenment cards. Don't be afraid to go into unknown territory. Okay. And I just talked about that when I talked about the lavender. Remember, I talked about wanting change, not afraid to, you welcome change, not be afraid to change, not wanting to sit the same old thing. You're not comfortable sitting in situations that don't serve you. You're not comfortable just always content with doing the same old things. You want growth, But lavender, those are people who want to grow. They set goals for themselves. They set out to achieve it. Once they master something, they want to set another goal because they want to continuously grow in life. The other spiritual symbol you have is snow. So there is someone around you that's jealous okay? Because Snow talks about jealousy, sadness. They possibly sad because they think that you're moving on, or they see that you're moving on without them. This is somebody that was very secretive about their actions, what they were doing. They withheld a lot of information for you regarding themselves, third parties possibly they were in. We'll clarify that. Somebody that was cold hearted, all right? Someone, it also talks about death and negative emotions, all right? So somebody that you ended a situation with, and someone who also needs to put it into a lifestyle, a belief system, something that's going on in their life, which again takes me back to the flower. All right. Once you locate that weed, you need to remove it. All right. Pull it, kill it. It is, even though a beautiful flower comes out of it, it's still not healthy. The weed itself is not healthy for your flower bed. So this is somebody that needs to put an end to something that's going on in our life. Someone possibly with negative emotions, someone who feels isolated at this time and lonely. They may be withdrawn. They don't want to really be with the crowd. They want to spend some time with themselves, with these negative thoughts, and maybe they were going through some form of depression. And because it does talk about negative emotions, secrecy, sadness, loneliness. So maybe perhaps they want to be alone because they're in some sort of depression. Something could take place in a winter season on December, January, and February as well. And with the umbrella, yeah, I see the umbrella definitely lets me know that this person was covering something up from you, hiding something, all right? But also, too, can tell me that even though this person was hiding, covering something, living in secrecy from you, with the umbrella can speak about protection. So you were protected from this person, all right? So you were divinely protected. Your spirit guides were protecting you, and especially with this light out here. See this, you're spiritually the spiritual light. Your spirit guides were definitely protecting you in this situation, in this situationship or relationship that you have with this person. What else? What else? Lit candle. All right, finding inner peace, awareness, spiritual enlightenment, wisdom, successful outcome after the struggle. See, come through, spirit guides. I told you, after you locate, after you go through the struggle, after you sit with the negative emotions, the patterns, once you identify what the problem is and you remove it, you address it, you heal it, you become the beautiful flower. Okay, the growth, the beauty that comes out of the healing. That's the self-love, that's the confidence, that's you setting boundaries, knowing your worth, okay, being more, keep wanting to, your light is shining at that point. You're more self-aware, using more discernment, all right, there's peace, you have peace coming over you. So this is what this is. This is like finding that peace, that awareness, because you've located the weeds. You worked on the weed. Give me one more. Just one more. Thank you. The ring. Okay. So with the ring, it's conflicts within a relationship. Listen to others more. Need clarity, material wealth of relationships. All right. So for one, I'm going to read this a couple of ways for you. With the rings, someone could have been married. You could have been dealing with somebody that was married. Possibly they didn't tell you they were married because remember we had secrecy, but you were divinely protected. You located. You found the truth. You became clarity. You received downloads through your spiritual guide or however it was. This was somebody that again possessive, narcissist type. Behavior, all right, fear, somebody who feared change, somebody who's confused because they didn't know what they wanted, to stay with their significant other or to be with you. I believe like you were probably the third party on the side, and this is that person, that rowdy person that's very ego driven, all right. Somebody who is into material things, perhaps they provided you material things, you provided them material things, but someone who is really chasing money and material objects, okay. They choose material over love, over the sanctity of relationships, over commitment. All right. Somebody could have had a drinking problem, likes to drink, or using alcohol or drinking as a coping mechanism. Because again, remember we have sadness, we have possibly depression out here, loneliness, being withdrawn, someone who is feels like you're being cold towards them because you're possibly not communicating with them. All right, because we do have 5 cards. 5 talks about conflict, loss, change, rebuilding. It also talks about um, spirituality and your guidance, okay? Overcoming challenges. All right. So this could be in somebody feeling disappointed and abandoned. So this person may feel like you have abandoned them in some type of way. All right. So this is definitely conflicts in a relationship, but also can talk about a person, not only the external conflicts in a relationship, but a person dealing with internal conflicts as well. All right. Which, again, is that exploring. Okay. Exploring. So we do have that as well as our spiritual symbol for today. So let's just get into some clarification. And then I want to get into some dark, some unspoken words, okay? So tell me more about this um, anarchist. Tell me more about this anarchist. Make sure these cards, yeah, I have them upside down, guys. Sorry. Tell me more about this anarchist in my collective's life. Yeah, this is somebody that definitely saw you as being nurturing, as being fertile, creative. Again, remember I talked about these same things when I talked about the lavender. This is you embodying you. You were the empress, all right? So you have mastered all of the queens in the tarot. You've done that. You could be the nurturer, the fragile, the sensitive one, the loving one. Overgive sometimes, okay? Because queen a queen of cups definitely overgive. They put other people ahead of themselves. They always think of others. You're very empathic, all right? So even when you see a person keeps coming to you with this, oh, woe is me, victim mentality, and somewhere deep in you, because you're coming to it as well, deep in your mind, like this person can't get right. This person's not going to do right. But still, because you're empathetic, you want to help you, so you still love, you help them, you listen, you're a shoulder to lean on, you give them wise advice. You are a queen of pentacles. You know how to go out there and hustle, get your money. You're very independent. You own your own, okay? You stand on your own. You don't I need somebody to come in. You just would appreciate them for who they are and just would love their companionship. All right. You can be the queen of swords. Like, you know how to set those boundaries when you need to, and you can be harsh and be firm on a person when you need to, but you try not to really embody that side of you. And as well as the queen of wands, you're very seductive, very alluring, very attractive, all right, very passionate as well. So you embody all of that as the empress, okay? And that's what this person saw. And it's a 3, so it lets me know that you have grown. You brought some type of growth to this person. It also talks about in relationships, you being creative. You have you it's like you have that Midas touch. What you touch grows. You touch people that need healing. You help them to heal in some type of way. See things like themselves. You mirror things back to other people. All right. People like to celebrate you in a way. And you like to collaborate, and you're not in it for yourself. It's like if something's going good for you, you want to help somebody else grow as well. Help them to reach their full potential as well. Sometimes to your own demise. Okay. What else? Yeah, the relationship, this was the 2, like the 2 cups in reverse. The relationship between you guys was unbalanced. It definitely was unbalanced. It's a broken relationship because, again, this person did not know which route to take, where to go, who to choose, what direction they want to go into their life, whether they want to be single or be committed. If this person was married, if they were having issues in that relationship and they stepped outside their marriage and they were entertaining you, whether you knew about it or didn't, that's on you. Everyone's situation is different. um, this is somebody who was like, do I want to leave this established relationship who I've been with for time for somebody, even though they may have love for you? It's like they were afraid to take a choice. Or this is somebody who didn't know if they even wanted to be in a commitment or be single. Somebody who had many options, all right? Somebody who, it also, in all fairness too, could be a person who fantasizes in their head and they have in their mind what the ideal relationship looks like, should be, feel like, touch. And they have all these options and they hop in all these superficial relationships because they're trying to find that person that fits that fantasy, that idea of what a relationship or that masculine or that feminine should look like to them in their mind. And the problem is they keep meeting people and getting sexually involved or with these people, and other people getting emotionally involved with them, and they're love bombing them, only to, after a while, pull out while the other person has caught feelings, and they're pulling out and they're hopping into another relationship and they're love bombing these other relationships because their expectations are never being met, because they in their mind have fantasized or have an idealization of what the perfect person for them is, and they're just never going to meet the person that they've envisioned, that fantasized in their mind. All right, this is somebody that was in and out of your life, where you may feel like you have one foot in, one foot out of this relationship. You know it's over. You know it needs to end. Okay, especially with snow, with there being depth. You know that it needs to end. And some of you have pulled out, but you're still tugging a little, struggling a little bit, and tugging back and forth a little bit with the heartstrings, because it was such a spiritual connection. I know I need to complete it. I know it's over, but I still care. I still have love. If this person changed, possibly it could work and not, but 21 talks about you basically at this point, just embodying your fulfillment, filling your own cup, all right? Having a foot, and like I said, in the earthly realm and in the spiritual realm as well. And this is also talks about you ending one cycle and starting another one, okay? So for those of you who have completely let go, and no, it's over. I don't want this person back. They've done too much, said too much, hurt me too much. I can't trust them. It's never going to work, even if you feel like I don't even want a friendship, I just don't want to communicate with them. It talks about you putting an end. You're ending that and moving on to something new now. You're wanting to venture out, maybe start a new career, meet new love, or just spend some time to yourself, as well. Because remember, Snow talked about, as well as you being withdrawn. Just want to be left alone for a little while, finding your own inner peace and making yourself happy. All right. So what else, Spirit guys? What else? Ooh. For stability, yes, you guys definitely work on your inner peace, your emotional stability, your mental stability. All right, yeah, like I said, some of you are just going out there and you starting new ventures. Okay, you have this childlike innocence, this new happiness about you. You want to explore something. Some of you could have been dealing with someone you had a child with, but you're being very creative. All right, you're wanting to grow something new now, start something new. You're very enthusiastic and ambitious about it. You're inspired. Some of you might be moving or traveling, okay, or just relocating, or have to relocate for work, or start a business on a different side of town or area from where you stay. Um, you feel like you've gone through a lot of growth, but you feel like somebody put you in competition, somebody that was being very childish with, somebody that was in and out of your life that had this relationship unbalanced, okay, even though they knew that you were a nurturer, unconditional, giving them unconditional love, it made them happy. All right, this was somebody who just kept putting you in competition, somebody that you were at conflict with. All right, that you were saying things to them, but they didn't care. All right, their energy was just off. You felt like it was just constant fighting, and you got tired of it. Okay, yeah, somebody that you were intimate with, somebody who had, that you possibly could have had a codependency on for a moment, while that weed was in your flower bed, before you recognized it and pulled it out. Somebody that you definitely were a lover with, okay? And at that point, you felt like there was harmony. You thought that it was a union. You thought it was going to go somewhere. Definitely the lovers. You thought it was going to lead to something serious, and it could have led you on to believe that. All right. And I say that because you have a magician in reverse. This person tricked you. They were deceptive. All right. They're manipulative. Even at times, you had self doubt about this relationship. But again, because you're the Empress, I know that there was a point, a time where you embodied that Queen of Hearts and you were overgiving to this relationship. All right. Now you are starting something new. You're recognizing it's not working. You're leaving. You left this person alone. I feel like they may still be wanting to manipulate the energy and try to get you back into their life, because this person is ego driven. Okay. Tell me more about what's going on. Tell me about what's going on. Ooh. Okay. I didn't even get a chance to shuffle it. With the person that was in my collective's life. Yeah, you guys are definitely embodying self-love. You're feeling more happy. Some of you are celibate now. You have released this past, released this person. All right, you recognize that weed in your garden. All right, but this person wants to come in again. Okay, but I told you they're coming in with trickery. Okay, they're coming in with trickery, guys. This person wants to come in again and feel the energy, your happiness, your nurturing, your love, your unconditional love, the energy you brought. They want to come in and chill with you. They still have affection for you. They want to feel those sparks again. All right. They want to spend time with you. Yeah, this person may want to try to get back into a friends with benefit situation with you, so be careful what they say to you. This person feels broken inside. Could be financially broke as well, unemployed, opportunities not coming to them. All right, they might be on hard times. They may have been out here living beyond their means with so many options, trying to help them out to get their hair done, nails done, pay a little rent, buy a little something that they ask for so they can get what they want out of situation with these wands out here. You know what they want, especially with the lovers out here as well. And, they may be contemplating, should I contact the collective? Should I not? Will they reject me if I do? Or maybe, they're just trying to weigh options out, or maybe possibly you're trying to weigh options out, unsure, because you see this person as being sketchy, and you know that they play games with you, and you wonder would they just come back in and play more games with you. All right, what else, Spirit Guides? Yeah, this person was living a lie. They were out here living a double life. I told you they were seeing other people, having third parties, possibly even married. They were hiding the truth from you. All right, they emotionally betrayed you, played with your feelings, kept you in a secret affair. Possibly people did not know about you, or if they knew about you in the beginning, during the moments when this person was love bombing you, and it's taking you out, spending time doing things, and introducing you to maybe some family, some friends, or talking about you to possibly some family or friends. They stopped. They stopped once they started love bombing somebody else. Funny, I feel like once they start love bombing somebody else, you weren't that great person anymore. You weren't possibly that loving, because they had to introduce this new person to love bombing on, so they had to make that person seem to be better, greater, more loving than you. So possibly then, they started telling little lies on you. Oh, well, yeah, I'm not talking to the collector no more. Oh, yeah, they were needy. They were clingy. Oh, yeah, they just saying little things about you to bad mouth you, put you in negative light so that they can make the other person seem like they were in a more brighter light than you. But this is somebody that now wants to come in. And they want that closeness back, okay? They want to rebuild that trust with you. They want to repair their heart. They know they hurt you. They know they were wrong. They know they played games with you. They know they were manipulative. So they do want to come in and say something. Don't know so much, because we didn't have this trickery deception out here. If all this trickery deception is all in the past, or if they're even deceiving themselves to think that yes, they're ready for this, and then they want to come in a love bomb because they're going through so much conflict in their life. They feel like, man, I'm tired of dealing with this. These guys, these girls are always cheating, always in my pockets. I'm losing money. The single life is costing me. I'm to buy drinks, I'm to buy food, dating this person, that person, or they're just tired of all the drama and conflict in their life. Now they want to come back to the Empress, the nurturer, the one that made them feel good. And they may be deceiving themselves, like, yes, I'm ready to settle down. And then once they get in you, with you, and then once you start making them feel better, healing whatever they're going through, then they're right back out to the same old games again. So Spirit is saying like they're protecting you. They're giving you warning signs as well. Pay attention to those. You are being guided to stay on your path. Continue with your healing. All right. You have unfinished business to do. All right. This person may feel like they have unfinished business with you, but you have unfinished. You have a purpose you need to work on. All right. This person needs to go and fix their issues. They want your forgiveness. They do want a reconciliation. They may say they want a higher level commitment, and some may even offer, commitment. Okay, well, yeah, I don't want to be friends. They want to put a title on you, all right, to make sure you don't get away this time. But again, don't fall into that love bomb. Ooh, I have a jumper, guys. I have a jumper. Okay, yeah, see, got it. You need to continue to have faith. Pay attention to feathers. Pay attention to pets, birds, insects around you. All right, listen to your intuition. Pay attention to your dreams. Record them. Journal them. You're on a spiritual journey. You need to continue on that. See, yes, you have unfinished business. Your unfinished business is to continue healing and go on your spiritual journey, where this person wants to come in and try to distract you and offer some type of commitment that may or may not be truthful and honest, okay, because they have not grown. All right, give me some. Let me put this crystal up. I want some of the dark confessions. Alright, we're going to deal with some dark confessions from this person. So God, give me some dark confessions from the person in my collective mind. Because I feel like them coming in is not as sincere as they may want to make it appear. What is one of the dark confessions? See, we got 2 again. I cannot support your actions. It's too much for me to deal with. Yeah, I tell you, this person, they may come in and say they want to offer commitment and love you. They, they want to feel these emotions again, but that's because the person's dealing with conflict. Because they're saying they can't support your actions, or either you're telling them that with the actions that are coming in as love bombing actions, like, yeah, you're not going to support it. It's too much for you to deal with. Like, no, I don't trust you. I know I was losing you, but I didn't do anything to fight for you. Yeah, this is somebody that possibly you told them you weren't happy. You questioned them. Were they seeing someone else? What were they doing? You felt like you weren't getting time, attention, love. They weren't making you feel like they, what's the word I'm looking for? They weren't making you feel worthy, okay? They weren't making you feel wanted or desired. And that's because I feel like they were entertaining other options, you all right? And because you saw something was sketchy, you was unsure about the whole thing, something didn't feel right to you, your spirit guides were telling you something. And you may have tried to have this conversation with this person. You may have told this person, well, you know what? I'm just going to go my own way. You go do you. I'm going to do my own thing because I'm not happy. I don't like the way maybe you're say you're gonna call, you don't. You say we're gonna go out, we don't. You don't keep your word, you lie. You're just catching this person in so much. But they had so much ego, so much pride. They were like, fine, go. I don't. I had like an I don't care attitude. So you did. You went on, all right. And this is person I say they knew their actions were catching up with them. Because you were probably bringing things to their attention, but they didn't do anything to fight for you. Because they probably were used to girls or guys chasing them, and they probably figure, okay, yeah, you're just in your feelings. You're going to come back and chase because that's what they're used to. But see, you're not what they were used to. You're something different, okay? You were from the beginning, and I think they recognized that from the beginning. You were the entire time. They just lost focus on you because they were looking at other things, and you still are. That's something different. What else? Give me another dark confession on personal collector's mind. Thank you. I feel unworthy of having love in my life. I feel miserable and lost. I told you with the snow card, this person felt lost. They weren't happy. They were in a negative mindset. Okay, they felt lonely and withdrawn. This person's jealous too of the fact that you moved on. Maybe if you're in a relationship, they're jealous of you being with somebody else. They're just jealous of you being happy and being at peace, and they're not. All right? But this person may not really tell you that because of their pride and ego. This situation has become very difficult for me to manage mentally. It's draining me. Yeah, they're drained. They're definitely drained. They're drained. And that's why they want to come back into you, because they want you to make them feel good again. I don't understand what you see in me. I don't feel attractive. This person, you could have been I don't know why I just saw Beauty and the Beast. You could have had a Beauty and the Beast relationship. You could be a very attractive masculine or feminine, and this person was not as attractive to you, did not get the attention that you receive. Your beauty, not only inside but outside, was probably more or not what this person was used to, and they need that attention. They need that validation to feed their ego. Okay, but being with you, it's like you were the better looking one in that couple. I hate to say that, but I mean, it is what it is. I don't feel guilty for how I treated you. My ego is too big to care. God dang it, dog. And didn't I not say it was I did. Come through. I just told you. That. I just told you. Yeah, they don't feel bad about what they did. They don't feel bad at all. All right. They did what they did because of their ego. They wanted to tear you down and make themselves seem bigger, brighter. They didn't care. I was afraid that you would reject me if I shared my feelings to you. Just somebody that definitely withheld from you, didn't tell you what was going on. But I told you they were secretive when I saw the umbrella. I know what I'm doing. I played them to keep you confused. Yeah, this is somebody who tried to manipulate you. Try to keep you in manipulation to keep you around. All right? A love bomber. That's what this is. And then when you bring up issues, then they play dumb. Like, well, no. Like they weren't doing anything or they weren't saying anything. They knew they were manipulating you emotionally the whole time. I am distracting myself to avoid from thinking of you. I told you this person may be drinking to cope with the fact that you're not there. All right. They don't want people to know how they really feel. They don't want to comment or say anything to you. They really want you to reach out to them because they don't want to be rejected. I'm embarrassed by my actions, and I feel disgusted with myself. Yeah, they may. They know they messed up. They knew they were doing wrong the whole entire time. All right. My pride and ego got hurt, so I want revenge. I wanted you to hurt too. I don't know what you said or did to hurt their pride and ego, and maybe you inadvertently said something, or did not know you said something, or just you yourself with your energy. you know um Maybe you told them that you were going to leave, because I said I knew I was losing you, but I didn't fight for you. I'm afraid that your feelings for me are not mutual. They don't feel how you feel. And I'm not going to read that like they don't love you. Maybe right now you feel like you don't want to be bothered. You don't trust them. You're done with them. And they're saying that that feeling is not mutual. Like they still want something with you, even though you've given up on them, you've walked away, you've let go. That feeling is not mutual because they want something with you. But this is somebody saying, can I give you what you want or deserve? I'm sorry, whatever it is that they felt you wanted a relationship. Again, I told you this person could have been married, definitely in another commitment, if not married in a long-term commitment. So no, they couldn't give you what they wanted, but they didn't express it to you. They didn't tell you this because they were being very secretive, very manipulative. Okay, so they withheld this information from you. But again, you were being spiritually guided to walk away. You were being divinely protected the entire time. The universe, your ancestors, your angels, or whatever it is that you believe in, depending upon your spiritual belief, you were protected and guided to walk away. Okay, work on yourself. You have a journey. You have unfinished business. You have a purpose. We all have a purpose here, and your unfinished business is like to let this go. You came in, you tried to help them heal. They didn't want to heal, so it's time to let them go and move on about what you need to do. Okay, locate that weed, address it, pull it, heal it, and move on. What's your angel message for my collective? What's the angel message for my collective for today? Okay, we have two. Okay, so we've had twos come on a couple times. So definitely two, 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 two. You're on the right path. You found balance in yourself. You're balancing your relationship. You're making wise choices. You're using discernment. Okay. You've made peace with yourself. You receive clarity. You're definitely attracting more to you right now, and you're not juggling anything. Yeah, you've decided to forgive this person, or you need to work on forgiveness with yourself, for allowing yourself. Sometimes we beat ourselves up. Why did I stay in a situation as long as I did? Why did I put up? Why didn't I speak up sooner? Or what didn't I heal? Why did I even get involved with somebody? If you knew they're married, why did I even get myself in this? So forgive yourself, forgive them for what they've done, forgive whoever, whatever you located that weed to be, forgive that weed. Okay, let it go so that you can move on. Give it to God, give it to the universe, give it to the divine. Just give it up so that you can continue to grow, have healthier relationships, and be that flower. Okay, even from the weeds of your life. Okay, the beauty that will still comes from that. All right. So this is my reading for you for today. I hope it resonated with you in some shape, form, or another. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and until then, sending you love and blessings. Goodbye.